Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Welcome to Hope's Latina History Day Luncheon. It is our pleasure to share Latina History Day with all of you phenomenal Latinas. How exciting for us to spend this time together and contemplate just what it means for each of us to empower our inner genius as women, as professionals, as students, as members of our greater communities, and, of course, as Latinas.
Good afternoon, everyone. If we can get everyone's attention. So great to see so many beautiful faces come together after 2 years. It's been a long time coming, and we're very, very excited to be here with all of you. We have a terrific luncheon program lined up for you all, and our goal is that we will gain a deeper understanding of our own unique path and how along the way each of you may share your gifts and your genius with the world. Let's take a few seconds right now to reflect on just that. Wherever you are in your journey, think of the barriers you have overcome to get to this moment in your life. What are your superpowers? How has your unique genius pushed you forward? What do you need to feed and grow that genius? Is it more time to reflect? More shared spaces with other Latinas like today and other spaces? What empowers my inner genius? Set the intention to do whatever that is starting today.
I couldn't agree more, Rosie. Prioritizing ourselves and creating space to tune into and double down on what inspires us and enables us to be our best selves is essential to thriving professionally and making a positive impact in our communities. I am grateful for the opportunity to come together today with other Latinas, many long-standing friends and colleagues who I respect tremendously, to reconnect, to support each other, and yes, to energize our inner genius. Thanks to all of you for helping us host a safe event. We ask that you continue to be mindful of our safety precautions throughout this luncheon celebration. Please wear your masks while you're not actively eating or drinking, and practice good hand hygiene by washing or sanitizing your hands often. As you look around, you'll find hand sanitizer stations conveniently placed around the venue. We hope you have enjoyed the breakout sessions and are ready to be inspired by the outstanding speakers joining us for our luncheon program, each gifted and genius in their own field.
We're excited to hear from our keynote speaker, Erika Sanchez, poet, novelist, essayist, and author of the powerful novel, I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. We will also be joined by a number of our dedicated civil servants and allies, Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, and a special tribute message from Alex Padilla, California's United States Senator, and su esposa, Angela Padilla, President of Fundamental Change.
Let's also take a moment to thank our many volunteers, including the terrific volunteers provided by Union Bank, who assisted with registration and setting up the workshops. You all helped make the day a great success. Thank you.
This year's theme of empowering your inner genius invites us to realize the brilliance each of us has to offer the world, as well as the extraordinary accomplishments we can achieve by supporting each other's geniuses. It goes without saying, the past 2 years have been challenging for our communities and each of us individually. Latinos were disproportionately impacted by the pandemic and have been at the front line keeping our community and country running. The pandemic has touched us all of our lives in different ways, impacting our jobs, our communities, and our families. We all have been confronted with hardship and uncertainty. Our hope is that today's conference serves as an opportunity to acknowledge all that we have overcome and encourage us to look forward to all that we will achieve. Let's reflect and gain inspiration from each other and our gifted and genius speakers.
Both Rosie and I have the great pleasure and honor of serving on HOPE's Board of Directors, and it has been a true labor of love to step into the role of conference chair to help bring this meaningful event to life, which commemorates Latina History Day. Working alongside the incredible HOPE team led by Helen Torres and our wonderful planning committee, we are all driven by the passion to advance equity and opportunity for Latinas. It is my genuine pleasure and honor to be a part of this celebration of Latina History Day, which HOPE was instrumental in founding 31 years ago. A day that acknowledges the many contributions Latinas have made to our country. To help us celebrate this momentous occasion, we're excited to share an exclusive message from United States Senator Alex Padilla, a long-standing supporter of HOPE. Senator Padilla, as you well know, made history as the first Latino to represent our great state of California in the U.S. Senate. And alongside Senator Padilla, every step of the way has been his brilliant wife and partner, Angela Padilla, an accomplished mental health advocate. Please turn to the screen for this special message from Senator Padilla and the President of Fundamental Change, Angela Padilla.
Muchísimas gracias. Thank you, Senator and Angela, for your enthusiastic message of support. Our next speaker is a financial sector genius with more than 26 years of commercial banking experience. Her passion for growing women-owned and diverse-owned companies has led her to be the highest-ranking Latina in Wells Fargo's 268,000-person organization. Please welcome Executive Vice President and Head of Diverse Segments for Commercial Banking for Wells Fargo Bank, Patty Juarez.
Buenas tardes, familia. It is so good to be here. It's so good to see everybody, to see your faces. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you so much for the warm welcome and introduction. It is really my pleasure today to be at HOPE's 31st Latina History Day. I'm delighted that we're together again to celebrate past and present achievements of Latinas while embracing the rich diversity of our Latina experience. This year's theme, Empower Your Inner Genius, is a call to action, and every Latina should share your awesomeness, your brilliance with the entire world. This conference is about reconnecting ourselves to each other, to our hopes, to our dreams, and also connecting with other amazing Latinas in the room. And I look forward to that networking in our Comadre Network this afternoon. I want to give a special thanks to HOPE CEO, Helen Torres. To the conference co-chairs, the planning committee, and everyone at HOPE who worked so incredibly hard to put together this amazing conference. What a tremendous accomplishment by everyone who has poured their heart and soul into this outstanding work. And we've been keeping it strong, right, for over 3 decades now. So let's give them a warm round of applause. For more than 13 years now, Wells Fargo has been honored to support your work. We're addressing economic development, resilience of Latinas, through Latina History Day, Latina Action Day. We're so proud to be sponsors of HOPE's Binational Latina Leaders Program, which is building a strong network of Latinas in the US and in Mexico. We're also delighted to help expand to a national footprint. I know we'll be joining Helen and the team in the inaugural Latina History Day in New York City in May. We are such a proud partner of HOPE because throughout the pandemic, and it's been 2 years, they have stood by Latinas, they helped women owners survive, adapt, pivot, thrive, and we could not be more proud of the work. What I have witnessed personally, being in financial services this last 2 years, are countless stories of resilience of our Latinos, and especially of our Latinas, as they've been the most impacted, frankly, despite all the obstacles, everything we faced. You have weathered the storm. Latinas have pivoted. They've shifted their business models. They have gone online. They have continued to grow. And we're spurring economic activity and the growth of our country, and particularly of our communities. Here in Los Angeles, I recently had the opportunity to work with the amazing Beatriz Acevedo from Summa Wealth, and she was a panelist. Did you guys see her this morning? How about a hand? Beatriz launched Summa Wealth, which is an academy and a multi-platform financial education initiative to help Latino youth through financial education and empowerment. Through her efforts and with some assistance from the Wells Fargo Foundation, she's helping Gen Z and millennials receive culturally relevant learning experiences to help break the cycle of generational wealth inequality. And one of our goals at Wells Fargo is to help our customers, to help our communities, to help our employees succeed financially. And we know that when a Latina is empowered to achieve great things, this creates a ripple effect in our community. Last month, I was actually here in Los Angeles awarding an Open for Business $20 million grant to help support diverse small businesses in Los Angeles. This, of course, includes our Latina entrepreneurs, and these grants are to assist you with the purchase of real estate, technology, equipment, and to fuel your growth. So please do look into our programs. Because at Wells Fargo, we believe we are better together, and I believe that this conference shares the same vision that we have. And by coming together, connecting, learning, and collaborating with one another, we can continue to grow, not only as individuals, but as a community of outstanding Latinas. So on behalf of the 8,000 employees that live and call Los Angeles their home at Wells Fargo, I thank you for being here from the bottom of my heart. And I hope you enjoy the conference. And please do come to the networking piece after this and enjoy your lunch. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Patty. Your dedication to Latina entrepreneurs is awe-inspiring. Again, many thanks to Wells Fargo for their commitment to hope. We are grateful to Wells Fargo and all of our sponsors for supporting HOPE's work to uplift and empower Latinas. And now, a moment to recognize the public servants who have joined us to show their support, including Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, Madam Deputy Superintendent Jenny Carrion, LA County Superior Court Judge Lucy Armendariz, City of Long Beach Council Member Mary Zendejas, Alhambra Council Member Sasha Renee Perez, Escondido Council Member Consuelo Martinez, Carpinteria Council Member Natalia Alarcón, Southgate Council Member Denise Diaz. Bell Gardens Council Member Lisette Flores. And El Monte Council Member Maria Morales. Lunch is about to be served. I know you all have been eyeing the beautiful traditional Lupita doll centerpiece. That's always part of this event. And if you purchase a raffle ticket, it could be yours. Raffle tickets are $5 each, and you may purchase them from the envelope at the center of your table. All proceeds from this year's raffle will go to a special charity that we'll announce at the end of the program. Please select one person at your table who will be in charge of collecting the money and pulling the winner at the end of our program. Don't worry, we'll let you know when it's time. I'm sure, almost there for lunch. I'm sure you want to share your favorite Latina History Day moments on social media, or be bold and share with friends how you intend to embrace your inner Latina genius. Please use the hashtags Latina Genius and LHD 2022, and please tag Hope at Hope Latinas. Our luncheon program will resume in 15 minutes as we welcome the extraordinary Erika Sanchez, our keynote speaker. All that in a few minutes. Buen provecho.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Hope everyone's enjoying this delicious meal. I would like to take this moment to have us all just take a moment to offer our sincere gratitude to the Biltmore chefs and wait staff for this delicious meal and meticulous and great care service. Muchas gracias. We have a few more government officials we would like to welcome. Kern County Superior Court Judge Wendy Avila and Director of the Department of General Services appointed by Governor Newsom, Ana Maria Lasso. Latina History Day is about the extremely accomplished Latinas who make headlines in the news for their inventions and innovations, for breaking glass ceilings and reaching new heights. It's about celebrating our ancestors and the woman upon whose shoulders we stand. It's about celebrating every Latina in the room and those who make a difference in their community every day. Today, we acknowledge the numerous contributions Latinas have made to this city, this state, and this country, including each and every one of you, all Latina geniuses. As chair of the Hope Board, I have had the privilege of working closely with the incredible staff and Board of Hope, reaching thousands of Latinas each year through our leadership programs, our conferences, and events across the state. In our 32-year history, we've served directly 64,000 Latinas, and through our advocacy efforts, touched the lives of several thousands more. Through our flagship programs, we've created a pipeline of Latina leaders who catalyze change in their communities and who are continuously making the world a better place. Through our research and advocacy, we're working towards a world where Latinas are represented at every decision-making table and towards creating policies that support economic and political equality for all. If you have enjoyed today's event, we invite you to support our work with 3 easy actions. 1, please join our Friends of Hope donor network by making a contribution today at the Hope table in the Comadre network of our online via our website, latinas.org. 2, you can help amplify our message by following us on social media. And 3, you can share what you have learned today with other Latinas. And now, to continue our program, our next speaker has long supported hope and the celebration of Latina History Day. He is a 4th-generation Angelino, born and raised in the San Fernando Valley, and the 42nd mayor of Los Angeles. Recently nominated by President Biden to serve as United States Ambassador of India. Please welcome our mayor, the Honorable Eric Garcetti.
Buenas tardes. How's everybody doing? So I think this is the biggest room I have been in since the pandemic began, and it is an amazing room full of power and full of dynamism. Give yourselves a round of applause for coming back together. Doesn't it feel good? It certainly does for me. And I want to give a shout out to the table over here that is filled with all the Latinas who are changing City Hall every single day. They include alumni of this program, including Barbara Romero, who is now the head of the Bureau of Sanitation. That is the 2nd largest city department after the Los Angeles Police Department. Barbara, stand up. She was part of class number 4 of Hope. And Nora Preciado, who leads our Office of Immigrant Affairs, my executive officer, Sonny Martinez. There's so many. You guys stand up for a second because I just want to say thank you for what you do every single day for LA. Well, happy Latina Day to Los Angeles. It's my pleasure as the mayor of Los Angeles to declare this Latina History Day in Los Angeles. And I want to thank Helen and the entire staff and the board for bringing us together. I have always loved, for almost 21 years, coming to the COPE conferences because to me this is where the future of Los Angeles exists today. And to make sure that we have political and economic representation is the core mission for each and every one of us. But I have to say, we've lived through the 2 most difficult years of our lives. And we're living in a very scary moment. I've been doing a lot of thinking about my own family in the last couple weeks. As I watch images of the war in Ukraine, I think about my great-grandfather on my mother's side, who was actually born in what was then called Nikolaev, which is now Mykolaiv, which you read about, surrounded right now by Russian troops as women and men take up arms, who were teachers and business people, everyday citizens to protect themselves. And I've also been thinking about my bisabuela, who fled Mexico during the revolution, Guadalupe Delgado, who was a full-blooded Tarahumara Indian from Chihuahua. She was proud of her roots. There's a few Chihuahuenses in here. And when she lost her husband, my great-grandfather, in the war, she picked up her baby, my grandfather, and fled that war across the border as we watch people fleeing war today from Ukraine. We live in difficult times, but any day that it feels like the clouds are too dark, whether it was during the pandemic or as we're watching war, we have to find those rays of sunshine all around us. And I'm so proud for the last almost 9 years to have been your mayor, to be empowered by and to have empowered this community to see the change that we want to make. We raised the minimum wage in this city when no other big city in America had done that. 9 years later, we have cut poverty because we believe everybody should get paid well. We've cut poverty in this city by 27%, and 65% of those people who got a raise were women, and most of them Latina. Because we believe that folks should get an education, and that shouldn't be dictated by the language your parents spoke or the color of your skin or your zip code, we led the way to make community college free. And within 2 years, 40% more LAUSD students were going to college as a result. Students like the ones we're honoring here today and that are part of this program. Because we believe that nobody should wake up and be faced with pollution where they live. We've banned oil and gas drilling in the city of Los Angeles, built 39 parks, moving to 100% renewable energy, and we also have made sure that in this town, that everybody can have the environmental justice that they deserve. You see, when you put your values forward, nuestros valores, we can find the actions that follow. And we say that gender equity matters. I went in there and I asked, so give me the stats. And nobody had even counted them at City Hall. So for the first time, within a year and a half, we made not just 50% of our commissioners women for the first time in LA City history, but now a majority of those who serve in commissions, many who are in this room today, are women for the first time. My challenge to whatever mayor comes next, to him or to her, is to continue that momentum forward. To look at things like when you look, you will see the numbers. We found out, Barbara Romero was deputy mayor at the time, that just 25% of the participants in our rec and parks sports programs were girls. So with the Olympics coming in 2028, we said, that's not right. What can we do to change that? And with great partners like the Clippers and $160 million from the Olympics, within 2 years, we again, without taking a single spot away from a boy, was able to make a majority of those who are now playing sports in our programs girls. We know what we can do when we put our minds to it. We know who we are. We know where we come from. We know what our families have passed on to us, and certainly it wasn't just Guadalupe, my bisabuela, but for me, and who I'll end with, it was my grandmother, Juanita, who I spent every weekend with, my sister, my grandfather. She was one of 18 children to the same 2 parents, right? So you really know I'm Mexican now. And her family was from Sonora. She was born in Arizona. She was a meat packer here in Los Angeles. She moved here as a teenager, graduated from manual arts, worked as a meat packer, and did that double shift that so many of our mothers and our grandmothers did, of waking up early and doing an early shift and then coming home to make sure there was food on the table, a double shift for the family. But on those weekends, she used to tell me things that still resonate with me today. She said, Eric, you have to always say who you are. You have to bring your corazón to everything that you do. And I think in this day and age, we find the things that divide us. We find the political ideologies that separate us. We care more about polishing our tweets than fixing our streets. We're more into our memes than remembering our dreams. That's my little Dr. Seuss moment there. I wrote that myself. Nobody wrote it for me. But I mean it. Let's get past that which is superficial and divisive. Let's get past the politics of subtraction and division. And let's remember how powerful addition and multiplication are. That when we come together in a room like this and we pass on to someone, the investment we make today is running the city tomorrow. And the investment we make tomorrow is changing the world forever. So from the bottom of my heart, because this will be the last address I make as mayor, as your mayor, but I'll come back in future years, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of nuestra familia, of my political family, of my cultural family, and most importantly, of my city family. I see a sea of angels in this city of angels. And keep being fearless and humble, keep listening, and keep leading with love. And I can't wait to come back after my time abroad and to see a city that is blossoming under your wings. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Garcetti, for your encouraging words and for sharing this time with us. We so appreciate all that you have done for Latinas and for the city of Los Angeles, and we'll miss you. Year after year, the Estee Lauder companies have supported the Latina History Day Conference. Let's take a moment to spotlight this extraordinary company for their support and generosity. I mean, how many conferences do you go to where you walk away with a fabulous Estee Lauder eye cream and MAC lipstick? Please join me for a round of applause in gratitude to Estee Lauder. Our next speaker represents another steadfast supporter of Hope's Latina History Day. Our conference co-title sponsor, the Coca-Cola Company. She joined Coca-Cola with 2 decades of experience in local, state, and federal government, having served as chief of staff to a California State Assembly member, a senior director to a member of Congress, and today is Coca-Cola's Director of Public Affairs, Communications, and Sustainability. Let's all give a warm welcome to Cindy Chin.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Coca-Cola Company, I want to say how great it is to be in person here today, and especially today on Latina History Day. Coca-Cola has been a longtime partner of HOPE in supporting political and economic parity for Latinas through leadership, advocacy, and education. At the Coca-Cola Company, diversity, equity, and inclusion are at the core of our company's values. And women, from the assembly line to the boardroom, are critical to the success of our business and the communities we serve. This is true throughout our Coca-Cola system, including our Reyes Coca-Cola franchise partner. And you will see they have refreshed our luncheon here today with the Fanta Zero that you're all enjoying on your tables today. Please also, I have to give a plug, don't miss the Comadre Network because it's very important, but also we're also sampling our Topo Chico product there as well, so please don't miss that. I can't say how proud I am to work at Coca-Cola. We have been working on women empowerment we've been working on, I've been very proud to work at Coca-Cola. Our 5x20 initiative program for women economic empowerment, which began in 2010 with the goal of advancing business dreams of 5 million women by year 2020. And we surpassed that goal even with our final year being during the pandemic. And it's because of partnerships that we've had with organizations like HOPE, we were able to surpass those ambitions. And today, Coca-Cola continues to work for women's economic empowerment wherever we do business. Within the company, we aim to mirror the diversity of our markets so that by 2030, we will be 50% led by women around the world. And also, by 2030, our goal is for our U.S. employees' population across all job levels to reflect and align with our census data through race and ethnicity. So we are at a really crucial time right now in the state and across our country, and all of our voices and leadership are needed. And so I hope that today's conference serves as an opportunity to celebrate the Latina history and that you're inspired by the history that has trailblazed before us and that you're empowered with your genius to blaze the new. So please raise your Fantas, our Coke products. Cheers to all of you. Thank you for your continued leadership and your advocacy in our communities.
Thank you, Cindy, and our thanks to the Coca-Cola Company for their support as co-title sponsor of Latina History Day. It's been said that women are the real architects of society. Thank you. In fact, it was a woman who said that entertainer and music legend, Cher, I'd like to add in that, in order to be a true architect of a better society, one must be a genius. A genius who leads with purpose, a visionary with a heart, a person who sees everyone as having worth and being worthy. That is true genius. And I now have the distinct pleasure to welcome to the stage a person whom we will all agree is pure genius. Join me and welcome me, Executive Director of HOPE, Helen Torres.
Good afternoon, everyone. How you feeling? Got a little Fanta in your stomach, ready to go? Got a little Mac on your lips? All right? We love Estee Lauder. Thank you for making us beautiful. Thank you so much. Let's take a deep breath. Let's celebrate each other. I always feel when I come at a Hope event, it's like coming to church. Because we're here to worship each other and to be grateful. And I am so grateful to seeing all of you. Thank you for continuing this tradition for 31 years of celebrating Latina History Day. I also want to make sure that I highlight the incredible Rosie Arroyo, who has been our board chair for 4 years. And for those that do not know Rosie's work, she is one of the premier immigrant advocates that has led immigration policy and coalition building in this city to ensure our immigrant families are protected. So a big round of applause to the incredible Rosie Arroyo. Now, each person in this room has the moment of genius, and that's why we thought of this conference title, Empowering Your Inner Genius. I hope that today fires you up to create more moments and builds you up to be the greatest person that you can be. And talking about geniuses, I have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker. Here's her official bio. It's very impressive. Erika is a novelist, poet, feminist, and a cheerleader of young women everywhere. She's the author of the New York Times bestselling young adult novel, I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter, which was a finalist for the National Book Award. A big round of applause. Her next book is a memoir titled Crying in the Bathroom and will be released in July. I'm already crying. I've been there. Erika's work is widely acclaimed. She's a recipient of the Princeton Arts Fellowship, a Canto Mundo Fellowship, as well as the prestigious Ruth Lilly and Dorothy Sargent Roseburg Poetry Fellowship. She has recently been appointed the Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz Chair in Latin American and Latino Studies in the Department of DePaul University in Illinois. She is a daughter of undocumented Mexican immigrants. Erika grew in a working-class town in Illinois. She graduated Phi Beta Kappa and magna cum laude from the University of Illinois at Chicago, and then went on to Madrid, Spain, living my dream, on a Fulbright scholarship. She currently lives in Chicago, where she's traveled from today to be with us. So we're very grateful. That's her official. A very impressive bio, hard-earned, and just the start of Erika's journey. But this bio is missing, I think, an incredible, important characteristic. It's missing stating that Erika is a genius. If you look up the definition of genius, it states a creative power, and she is a creative powerhouse. She is a genius because she's able to take 26 letters that make up our alphabet, rope them together to tell a tale of family secrets, trauma, immigration, and then what it's like to grow up a Latina teen in the United States. A story most of us know all too well. Julia, the main character in I'm Not a Perfect Mexican Daughter, was someone I knew well. And often when I was reading, I have to admit, didn't like too much. Because maybe she reminded me too much of myself as a teenager. Making mistakes, having fought too often with my mother, and maybe making poor decisions that now, as an adult woman who is a mother, say, by the grace of God, I survived. I have never stopped rooting for Julia and grew to love her. She took me through some of her most soul-crushing moments of her life, and I needed to believe she would persevere, very much like all of us today. We all need to persevere, embrace our family history, heal, celebrate, and most of all, love ourselves. When I reflect on I'm not your perfect Mexican daughter, I think, I hope Julia has learned to love herself and has discovered what a genius she is. I hope that for all of us. Please welcome Latina History Day keynote speaker, the genius who tells our stories, the wonderful Erika Sanchez.
If you would have told 12-year-old me that I would be here talking to you, she would have laughed in your face. So this is crazy. I wore my hoops for you, by the way. I am just so honored and excited. Thank you so much to Helen, to Hope, for giving me, or inviting me, and giving me this experience of this keynote. I'm just incredibly honored. I feel so lucky. I've never read to a room like this, so I'm just filled with love and excitement. Thank you. So I'd like to begin with a poem because before anything, I identify as a poet, and poetry is the way that I make sense of the world first. And that's how I entered literature. That's how I discovered that I was a writer, is through poetry. And I've never read this out loud to anybody but my husband, so yeah. Okay. Opening. I wanted to rip the sky open with my fingers, lie in the dirt until I became it. The door was the opening to a wolf. Whatever was inside, I fed it scraps to keep it alive. The way Rift and Risk looked like sisters, it was beyond my wanting. I bowed to the beauty of the world like a tree with too much fruit. I screamed at a cloud until I was faint. In my dreams, men hurt me again and again with their fingers. I marry someone I hate in an ugly dress, and no one even remembers. I cut my wrist so hard it finally takes. A deer leaps into a house at dusk. It takes my breath away. I should have been dead by now, you feel me? But here I am with this child named Journey, a bright creature named Keep Going, named You Belong Here. Have I broken the curse yet? The girl who can't stop dancing even though her feet are bloody. My mother's silence is beautifully pleaded. My ancestors are perched on my back waiting for results. In the museum of my hurt, the cups are filled with blood water. Everyone laps them up and claps, a series of diagrams of my unctuous past. See, no one ever told us we could be anything other than help, that we could live without a God who's never said he's sorry. Astonishment is always a form of birthing, so I didn't die. For thousands of years, I've been alive. I wrote this poem as a catharsis, as a way to process my life. There have been so many times throughout the years that I begged not to exist at all, because I wasn't sure how to live with the circumstances that were determined by my race, my class, and gender. I wanted to disappear. My female body felt like a penance. I wondered if I could ever create the life that I truly wanted. You guys make me all shaky. All I ever wanted is to belong to myself, to be the architect of my existence, to decide what happens to my own body. And I wasn't sure that any of this would ever happen. What was the point, I wondered. As you can see, I find a way to stay alive. I write 3 books. My career becomes something I could never even fathom. I get married, have a baby, and even buy a beautiful dream house. Thank you. Success was sweet because it's what I had been chasing for so long. It was sweet because at last I was able to live the life that I wanted. I had choices, I was comfortable, I was loved. I had always known that I was born to be a writer, and here I was doing that. So why was I still scared? These last few months, I've been intentionally healing wounds I've neglected for so long, wounds I forgot about because they were too painful to endure. The wounds my mother gave me and her mother gave her, and so on until the beginning of human existence. I've been slowly setting down the baggage I had become so accustomed to lugging across the world. I decided that I was tired of a life defined by grief and strife. I didn't always want to be elsewhere in my mind. I wanted to exist in the present. In December of 2020, I became a mother to a beautiful baby girl named Sojourner. She was something I had been dreaming of for years. And in becoming responsible for another person, particularly a girl, I began to understand my obligation to transform the generational trauma I've inherited in order to give my daughter the best possible outcome. I refuse to pass down my suffering. Life is hard enough without this added burden she will see. To do this work, I must confront myself and I must confront history. I need to understand where I fall in the line of women who came before me and the women who will come after me. I have to understand the patriarchy, the poverty, the mental illness, the rage, the hunger, the borders, the despair, the fear, the racism, the misogyny, the violence, the erasure. Success doesn't guarantee happiness or health. It doesn't cure mental illness or erase the past. I had to make sense of my life and talk to the ghosts that hovered over me. All of my life, I had braced myself for suffering, so happiness was terrifying to me. This excavation was and continues to be uncomfortable. It's ugly and it's beautiful. It hurts and it scares me. Healing is not neat nor linear. Transformation has to be earned. As I begin to sift through my history, I realize that I've never been alone. Even when I wished the world would swallow me whole, I was more than myself. I was bigger than the individual. What I mean is this: my ancestors were always with me. My flesh comes from their flesh. My despair, my rage, my sorrow, my resilience, my creativity, my intelligence, my humor, all of it. Sometimes I feel as if I've been alive for 1,000 years. Is this a metaphor? I'm not sure. I know many lives speak through me. Their stories come to me. I am the first woman in my family to have the opportunity to pursue an education. My grandmother can't read. My mother was pulled out of school in 6th grade. The women in my family had little agency. Their only path was to get married and have children. They did so much with so little. So what responsibility do I have as the first to even have the chance at independence and economic mobility? What do I do with this knowledge I've been able to acquire? What do I want women to take from my work? What I want most is for them to know that we matter and that a better life is possible when you pursue knowledge. We owe it to our mothers, our grandmothers, or children. It's been clear for me for a long time that the world doesn't care about women of color. We are often inconsequential in this white supremacy, in this patriarchy. We are expected to serve and to be quiet. We are simultaneously invisible, disposable, desired, hypersexualized, and hated. The world does not see our personhood, just what our bodies can provide. And as a young brown woman, you have little to no agency. Everyone has a say in what you do, what you say, what you look like. Ay, mija, te estás poniendo gordita. No andes allá en las calles, en las cocinas. No seas una cualquiera. No seas cochina. ¿Qué van a decir tus tías? ¿Por qué no te pones un vestido bonito que enseñe tu cuerpo? No te vayas a embarazar. No andes allá de volada. Así no se portan las mujercitas. ¿Dónde está el novio? No seas marimacha. Síguele, cabrona. ¿Quién va a casarte contigo? ¿Cómo te gusta la mala vida? But what if we said no to all of this? What if we refuse to perpetuate what has hurt us and create a new framework for our families and communities? What if we encouraged girls to get an education so they can be in charge of their own lives? What if we stopped commenting on their bodies and focused on their talents? What if we model what healthy romantic relationships look like? What if we tell them that their minds are beautiful, that it's okay to be angry? What if we listen to them without judgment? What if we told them their bodies belong only to them? What if we gave them books written by women? What if we told them we don't expect them to get married? What if we let them dress how they want to dress? What if we let them love who they want to love? What if we tell them that they can be artists and truly mean it? What would this world look like? Because I'm trying to live there. And I know many of you want this too. I'm still very angry, of course. How could I not be? But now it's different. I no longer feel alone. I'm no longer a little girl frightened by her own feelings. Now I understand that I carry the knowledge of my ancestors and the knowledge of all the women who have shaped me throughout my life. I want to emphasize that it's not just me up here. I've been changed by people, places, books, and arts. I've been changed by stories in all their incarnations. And now as an author, I've been changed by my readers, all the girls and women who feel seen in my flawed characters. What a lucky life. I used to think that I was the only Julia Reyes in the world, so lonely I could hardly stand it. But I was wrong. We are everywhere. And now that we found each other, let's set some shit on fire.
Wow. Thank you, Erika. Your stories and poetry make many of us Latinas feel seen. Thank you for sharing your genius and your voice, all of our voices, with the world, and for being with us today. I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter will be for sale at the Comadre Network, and Erika will be signing her book until 3 p.m. So be sure to make your way to the Comadre Network, located in the Rendezvous Court right after the program. This has been an empowering afternoon. Muchísimas gracias once again to Mayor Eric Garcetti, Senator Alex Padilla, Angela Padilla, Patty Juarez, Cindy Chin, and all of our genius speakers for joining us in celebration of Latina History Day. We'll be raffling our Lupita dolls shortly, so if you haven't purchased your raffle tickets, now is the time.
This conference has been such a full circle and gratifying moment for me. 2020 was my first year chairing this event, which was scheduled on the day Los Angeles issued stay-at-home orders to slow the spread of COVID-19. We, of course, postponed our event. We were thrilled to bring it back last year, virtually, but as we can all attest, there is no substitute for the magic that happens when we're all together in person at this Latina History Day conference. Thanks to all of you. Through all the adaptations, contingency plans, and precautions, we applaud the creativity and commitment of the Hope team that made this amazing event possible today. And we have the utmost appreciation for the guidance, brilliance, and leadership of this truly genius woman and dear friend standing here with me, Hope's board chair, Rosie Arroyo. And my heartfelt thanks to the incredible committee members who were an essential part of building this event. Each an inspiring and accomplished Latina leader doing amazing work on behalf of our community. Please stand to be acknowledged. Elizabeth Beltran, Hilda Delgado, Yvette Estrada, Erika Jaques, Jasmine Mora, Liliana Perez, Alejandra Velázquez, and Iris Zuniga. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you, Laura. And to our fabulous planning committee, we ask for your patience as we highlight some of the people and organizations who have made this day possible. We'll be raffling our Lupita dolls shortly. Events of this magnitude need committed partners to share their time and financial support. Let's take a moment to our Latina History Day sponsors. A big thank you to our co-title sponsors, the Coca-Cola Company and the Estée Lauder Companies. Muchísimas gracias to our platinum sponsors, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Walt Disney Company, and Wells Fargo Bank. And to our premier sponsors, Chevron and Southwest Airlines.
Thank you to our strategic sponsors, NBC Universal, Telemundo Enterprises, and Marathon. And many thanks to our patron sponsors, AT&T and Spectrum. We are grateful to our diamond sponsors, Altamed, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Ellis George Cipollone O'Brien Anagüe LLP. To all of our incredible sponsors, thank you. Let's show how much we all appreciate their important investment and belief in hope with a big resounding round of applause.
We're proud of the work we do with other community organizations and would like to recognize our HOPE affiliates. Amanecer Community Counseling Services, College Match LA, Corina Casco, DIY Girls, HLI Class of 2010, Jive Live Entertainment, Kennedy Wilson, Los Angeles County Supervisor Hahn, Latina Leaders of Kern County, Proyecto Pastoral, Riverside Latino Network, School of the Visual Arts and Humanities, the Office of Assembly Member Valladares, Trustee Sonia Lopez, Compton Community College, and University of Laverne.
As you know, these events require a lot of commitment and vision. We're so thankful to our board members. Please stand to be recognized. Lupita Sanchez Cornejo, Elizabeth Atley, Maribeth Anagüe, Sandra Magaña Cuellar, Nora Dominguez, and Anabel Giron. And of course, Rosie Arroyo and I are so proud to be a part of that board. Your hard work and dedication is only surpassed by the love you have for HOPE and its mission.
And to our advisory board, our champions of hope, thank you for your continued guidance, support, and advice. Here with us today, Luisa Acosta, Dolores Arredondo. Yes, please stand and be recognized. Karime Sanchez Bradvica, Lupita Garza, Brisa Sotelo Vargas, and Susan Cifuentes Trigueiros. Y muchísimas gracias to Hope's staff. These women are just the best. They are the true geniuses who bring all of Hope's amazing programming to life. Please, let's give them a big round of applause. And I also just have the great honor and would like to take a heartfelt congratulations to also a dear friend, supporter, mentor, many, many things, and to Laura. I mean, Laura has been just amazing, her incredible leadership at the Hope Board, leading us to Latina History Day during COVID. And I just have to say, sharing an event with Hope is really, it's more than just sponsoring, lending your name. It really is an all hands on deck moment. And so Laura has been a strong leader, champion, supporter of Hope. And I'm just so proud and want to congratulate her and the committee for this amazing work. Thank you, Laura. Yes.
Thank you, Rosie. There really are no words to follow that. But I'm so very grateful to share this amazing day with each and every one of you. All right, with that, we are next going to invite all of you to join us for the program for the Comadre Network to enjoy some delicious desserts and cafecito. You can continue networking, always fun. You can continue networking while shopping and supporting Latina-owned businesses and taking part in our exciting book signing. Before we move to the other room, we need to raffle off our beautiful Lupita dolls. It's easy to win. You just have to purchase your raffle ticket. We're using the honor system and trust everyone will too. One person at your table should collect the money and distribute raffle tickets. Bear with us for just another couple minutes. Exact amounts, please. We do not have change, so checks are accepted, payable to Hope. Please make sure you place your name on the appropriate ticket, drop it in the envelope, and keep the other half.
And in honor of the book, if we can keep it down just a little bit. We're almost there. I know there's a lot of excitement with the Lupita doors. But in honor of the book, I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. We're almost there. Ya mero, we promise. Just hang on tight. So in honor of the book, I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter, which shines the light on the realities of mental illness and suicide, all profits from this year's Lupita doll raffle, thank you, will benefit the Alejandre Foundation, an organization that works with the Latinx community to increase financial accessibility to bilingual mental health therapy services and reduce the stigma of mental health across the nation. Latina youth face disproportionately negative mental health outcomes, and it's an issue for so many of us that have experienced firsthand. Thank you for taking action with us today by participating in the raffle. Okay, so does everyone have their raffle tickets? I think some of you got a head start. But all together now, let's have one person at each table draw the winning ticket and announce the winner of the Lupita doll. Congratulations to all the winners. Please hand the non-winning tickets, money, and unused tickets in the envelope to our gracious volunteers who are coming around to pick them up. And please, all committee members, join us on stage for our official Latina History Day photo. And to all our Hope Board members, please join us on stage as well.
We'll see you all at the Comadre Network. Once you exit out to the main Galleria, follow the signage to the lovely Rendezvous Court. We hope you are leaving inspired, by the creativity and the genius of the Latinas you've heard from and interacted with today. You have all inspired me with your brilliance, and because of you, the future is bright and full of hope. I can't wait to see what you all do next. I know each of you will leave an imprint on Latina history. Thank you again, and we'll see you next year at Hope's Latina History Day.